It's Banter with my son, Rich Carucci. Rich!
Welcome to Total Banter. Tonight's guest, Todd Montesi. Todd,
Hey.
what's happening, man?
Doing great, man. I'm glad I'm in House Carucci, which is it's bigger than I thought. I thought because all your stories, it always sounds like you're in like a mob movie without the mob or money. So I thought you'd live in like a shoe or something,
This looks like a mob house.
No, yeah. Like mid-level mobster, working class mob guy who's just trying to, he does it on the side.
He rents.
Yeah,
He rents.
yeah.
I'm after rents.
Yeah,
It's not-
he's really big into Airbnbs. Like, that's his thing. It's like I do all the Airbnbs. Maybe we'll set up a little Airbnb over here in the Airbnb. They won't even know. We'll get out. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom.
Oh, man, that's awesome. So, hey, you got the UGG show tonight. How long have
Yes.
you been doing the UGG show for?
I've been running that show for 11 years, my friend. 11 years. UGG Comedy Show is a stand-up comedy show in the city in the East Village. And if you know comedy in New York, it's very competitive. And running a singular weekly show every week for 11 years means I'm demented and crazy and I have no family and no social life where I'm just stuck with this thing of ours that is stand-up comedy.
How many venues do you guys go through in that? I mean,
Oh,
there's been a
man.
ton of them.
It has, because because bars closed. Like we were originally at UGG Lounge, UG, because it's called Underground Lounge in Midtown, and that closed. So then we went to Falsha, an Irish bar. We were there for like 5-6 months. Then we went to Identity Bar, that was owned by this crazy cokehead French guy who alienated all our audience members. He would sexually harass every female audience member we had, and we're like, dude, you're scaring away our business, our audience. They're paying money here. He's just like, fuck it, I don't care. And then he just smoked with his rat tail. Like
That's funny. He walked the audience.
He'd have like a line. He'd like I forgot what his line was, but it would be something like, hey, do you like that getting something where the punchline is like, fuck you in the ass. And then one of the comics, I think Rich James, my DJ.
Sounds like the Iron Sheik.
Yeah, basically. And my DJ, Rich, was just like, hey, why would you say that, Len? Why would you do that to people paying to be here? And the guy goes, but when it works, it works. It's like, all right, dude. So we had to leave that place and yada yada, different places. Mug Lounge, which was cool. We were there for like a year or so. No Fun Bar, we were there for a little bit.
Remember that?
And now we're at Drexler's at 9th Avenue A, and
That's
it's
a cool
great.
venue. Great
Yeah,
venue.
it's our new recent residency. We've been there for a year and a half. They're, knock on wood, they're cool, awesome people, and it's a fun show. It's a fun vibe. It's a good time. It's free, so if you're ever around New York City and you want a real New York City comedy experience that was here from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, now that's where we're at. Because there's always something crazy going to happen, man.
What night of the week is it?
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays at Drexel's. What time?
8:30.
8:30. Now you're also an actor. You were in
Yes.
Hipster Vice. That's one of them, right? That was one of them.
Yes.
Cable Ripoff. Wasn't that another one?
Yeah. That's what I'm sure you've checked out the oeuvre of Todd Montesi, who's the great filmmaker Todd Montesi.
That's all right, man. And you got a great part on Crashers.
Crashers, yeah. Well, Crashing and Crashers, yeah.
Crashing. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, I was only in the first episode, but I wish they'd put me in more. I think
You were great in that, of course.
Yeah, it was
I messed
good.
up the name, Crashers.
I appreciate it. It was cool. It was cool, man. It was cool. I just wish I really thought I was gonna be like, oh great, I was great in this first episode. They picked up the pilot. Maybe they'll get me in more episodes. And
You played yourself.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is cool. You got to play
I'm
yourself.
a naturalist, Todd Montesi. I was born to play Todd Montesi. Come on. And then, but then it was good. It was a good experience though. And meeting Judd Apatow was pretty cool, and being part of it.
Well, I know you're a comic and an actor, and you do produce a show, so you're a producer too. But is it hard working with comics like books?
So
You're on the production end of that. I mean, it's a horror story you hear all the time.
Here's the problem though: you can't be a nice person in show business, and I'm a nice person, so
Yep.
I'm screwed. I'm probably gonna live with you in like 5 years.
Well, we got 2 couches.
Exactly. Don't worry, I'm Carucci's other Italian son.
That's right.
South of
Sicilian.
Sicily, north of Italy, Africa. All right, so no, but it's just like babysitting like these personalities, man. And I feel like a lot in comedy and show business, especially specifically comedy, are people who come from like dysfunctional backgrounds and they bring that to you. So I grew up in a dysfunctional background and like, because I had relatives with mental illness, schizophrenia, were using drugs and taking my money when I was a kid. So
They sound like comics.
yeah, exactly. I was born to do this. Yeah. So it's like you gotta like you gotta put boundaries. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put boundaries, and like even still, like after 11 years, I still have to like start putting boundaries on like again. I'm a nice guy, I hate saying I'm a nice guy because usually those are the worst people who say that.
Yeah.
I'm a nice guy. Come on, let me rub your shoulders. But no, but like like I feel like you gotta be focused and you gotta make sure they don't like take advantage of you. Like for example, I think I was talking to you in the car, like LA comedians, the comedians who come from out of town, they come to New York and they book like 1 billion spots because in LA you can only do like 2 or 3 spots tops because it's a driving city. I get that, but like sometimes they disrespect you and go, hey, can I do your show first at like and then they have friends and bring friends and then they take their friends with them after they go up first. And then it's just like I go, oh, so I can't put up people from out of town in the first 4 or 5 spots because they take their comp people, audience members, then I got to start all over again the show. Like I got to reboot the show in a second performer.
And start charging the 2-item minimum. That's what you got to start doing.
Well, I mean, again, like it's 1 drink minimum, but it's great drink specials. But like my point is, it's like you can't disrespect the show. Like you can't like and in ways you gotta just make sure that there's boundaries in place first, so you don't get disrespected and taken advantage of. Because I hate to bring this up though, but like comedy show business, being a comedian is almost like being a low-level mobster, where it's like a lot of street, nighttime, a lot of like crazy shit, and you just gotta make sure you don't get fucking whacked. Like,
I like that.
yeah, literally or figuratively, and you can't just. If someone disrespects you, people are gonna look you go, oh, I guess we could just walk all over them, and you can't do that. So even now, like I just had to put a recent boundary where it's just like, all right, if you're from out of town, if I don't know you, you know what I mean? Like if you're from out of town, but I know you, you've done my shows before. But if I don't know you, you got to go like later, like maybe 5, 6, 7, like after the established spots first, Because like, and you know what? If you bring like a lot of people, I'm fair. Like I'll probably give you an extra, couple more minutes. Like instead of like 8 to 10, I might give you 12 to 15, depending. And I've had that too. I've had good people. They bring people, and then they're like, "Oh wow, let me give you some more time."
Well, your shows are more like a party.
Yeah.
I've been to them. I love them. And comics love going themselves. It's like a hangout for us to network, and they are good. Now, where'd you grow up? New York, New Jersey?
I grew up in Flatbush, Brooklyn. Flatbush, Brooklyn, old school New York, old school Brooklyn. So it's like I still have that old school mentality. Like I remember like grew up in my neighborhood. Like we were the first Caribbean people moving in because it was like Irish and Italian, so I had to deal with that. And like,
hey, you got them to stop fighting. They had somebody to pick on.
Oh my God, there's like this guy. He was this really good guy who lived in the building. This Italian guy. He's always nice to me. He's like, "Hey Todd, how's it going?" Always give me like candy and stuff, or like give me a pound. His son was a fucking dick, right? A piece of shit, and he went to like So basically, long story short, my oldest cousin, was half black, half Spaniard. So he basically looked like he was Italian. He was their favorite guy. They moved out. And like his mother told my grandmother, like, oh, my grandparents, hey, this new nice apartment, you could have it because like we moved out, when you could just, and they're like, oh, great. And then we were the first, black people there. So they're cool with him, but he left, and then they were like, oh, you? So he went to like private school. He was like a Catholic school thing. So when I'd see the dad, I'd be like, oh, hey, so how's it going? When his dad would go get the mail and his son was right there, his son would take out his knife and try to chase me around, like as a joke. Because that was Brooklyn back then in 1980s. Hey, you know what's funny? Me chasing this black guy with a knife right behind my dad. So I run away. I'm like, yeah. Then I bump into the dad. I'm like, oh my God, you see what your son just did? And he's like, what are you talking about? Now I'm starting to think that maybe they were in on it. Like, all right, I'll be nice. You threaten him, and then
Bad guinea. Good
exactly.
game.
Right.
No, game. But who are some of the people I came through over the years, like comics?
A bunch, man. Colin Jost, Michael Che, those guys, they did it. A bunch. You, right? A lot. This is thousands of comics.
Thousands, literally, yeah.
It's become a point now where Pete Holmes, I guess, it's become a point where it's like it's almost like a rite of passage in a weird way, where it's like, you know what, if I'm going to do all these shit, the New York City comedy scene, you got to go through UGG, you know, and I'm fair. Like I give everyone a shot because like no one's ever given me a shot starting out. Like I started doing stand up when I was 17 years old, and like I didn't know what was going on, you know, and like here's the problem. Here's what I'm so pissed off at. Like, if you're a comic from out of town, like, not out of town, like, I'm talking about out of the tri-state area, like, you know, Chicago or, like, Iowa, any other scene, you could develop your act, a half-hour act, a full act, and then come to New York and then, like, do open mics. It's like, oh, me, I started out 17, I had to go straight to open mics, and it was just like, fuck, all this competition, all this, like, mind games, and I'm like, I'm just trying to get my voice in, and it's just like it's immediate, where it's just like you get like a reputation, like, oh well, he does this and that. I'm like, dude, I'm 17, like I'm still trying to like, you know, like I was shocking, I was edgy because I was trying to see like what boundaries I could go, or like what, you know, and you know, and also I looked up to people like Sam Kinison, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Lenny Bruce. I wanted like George Carlin. I wanted to fucking do material that like, you know, would engage and just like shock, you know, and just like, you know, break it down. I didn't want to just be like, hey, so, you know, Tinder or like my dating life. I wanted to actually fucking say something, and besides be funny and just like, you know, explode your head, you know. And it takes time to do that shit. And in the beginning, it was hard to like get spots because like again, no one knows who you are.
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah, you can't just do open mics because like then you become like an open micer comic. You know, you got to like do real audiences. So then I started seeing like outside rooms, like rooms outside the borough, like black rooms, where it's like they give you more than 5 minutes, where you could actually just like be comfortable and say hello and not talk at the audience, talk to the audience. You know what I'm saying? And you could just develop your act, develop your point of view, and like, you know, and then once you get that, you could kind of like see, oh, okay, there's stuff outside. Pip's Comedy Club, I think they had a mic. Sometimes they had people there. Yep. Then you could just like kind of see like, oh, okay, you know, I could actually just like, you know, be calm. I don't have to like fucking rush through like what I'm trying to say because I want to get like all these 7-10 jokes out. You don't have to do all your jokes. You could just do like 2 or 3 if they like you, you know. It's building that act, building that sort of like POV that's really important in comedy and in general, just like as an artist or a creator, you know.
Yeah, definitely. You do a lot of videos too. Like what?
Yeah, I got a web series. It's called PN and Friends, and basically PN is a Black Charlie Brown type character.
I like it already.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. And like basically, I was trying to pitch it around and stuff, and it was hard because like people go, why should we give you money and this and that? So I figured, you know what? With technology, like with smartphones, let me just do it myself. You know, I want to put it out there myself. So then I started doing like shorts, like the Hipster Vice you were talking about, which is like basically that was like it took me like a year to shoot it, and then a year to like edit it every month or so, like a new episode of PN Friends. So you can watch the whole thing or just see a clip, and then you can, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you started so young, and you're doing it.
I'm getting older though. I'm almost 40. I'll be 38.
If somebody's starting out now, what advice are you gonna give them? They ask you.
You know what? If you have money, just spend all of that on marketing. You don't even need to be funny. You could just have like one stupid video. Just get the word out, because it's all marketing now. It's all like you could be a quality product. No one cares. Only cares is like if they could talk about you and like and share and engage with you as like the content to sort of engage with others, you know, because you see a lot of content like memes, for example, right? A lot of kids now, they relate to fucking memes. They don't relate to music. Like you grew up, it's like, oh wow, the new Wu-Tang Clan album, awesome. Now it's like, oh, did you see that new meme? So you have to think about it that way, where it's just like, all right, what can I create to have them all engage, to have a little subculture engage in this content, and then like, you know, and then probably try to build on that. So that's what I'm like still doing. But again, to do that, it's like getting the word out. My name out there, doing this thing, this is part of the content. So people see like, oh, Todd's doing a lot of stuff. Todd's doing a lot of things, and Todd's a professional. You know, he's reliable. He'll, you know, if you want him, he'll do it. He'll come there. You know. So that's what I'm just trying to do, man. I'm just trying to like, again, like I feel like I was born to do this, you know? And say they give you that opportunity. They give you that opportunity, and then you hit it out the park, and they go, where did this come from? Well, motherfucker, I've been here for fucking years, busting my ass and building myself up. So this is something new. This is something unique. You know.
Self-made. You created all your own
Yeah.
breaks, all your own venues, and
I mean,
you do it yourself.
I wish I could fucking do the fucking, like, path of least resistance and go, hey, oh, wow, all these opportunities, great. Wow, I'm a drug addict, and then more opportunities. Thank you. I've cleaned myself up, industry. Thanks for giving me more opportunities. I won't mess up this time.
We all know people like that, but how can people get a hold of you? Where can they see you? What's your site? Where?
You know what? On Instagram, Montikilla, Montikilla. Add me on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook, Todd Montesi, Montesi. YouTube, Montikilla Vision. Just like Google Todd Montesi, you find me there. All that stuff. And like, yeah, I'm around. I'm always posting up funny content. So you don't even have to. All I say is this: follow me, share it, spread the word. You know. I'm not even asking for money. I'm not even asking for like donate $20 to my fucking, you know.
Why not? But
I should though, but yeah.
But they could also catch you at Drexel's every Tuesday.
Drexler's, yeah, 9 Avenue A, the UGG Comedy Show. Follow UGG Comedy Show on Facebook, Instagram, UG Comedy Show, one word, all that stuff. Just find it. You'll find it. And yeah, PN and Friends, there's 15 episodes. Watch that. You're going to enjoy, especially if you're a native New Yorker and you want to have like Seinfeld without the money, basically, you know? Like just these fucking poor, the other side of the whole Seinfeld. Like, oh, what if it's a Seinfeld universe, but in Brooklyn where like Larry David grew up in, but now it's all Caribbean and like, you know.
That's great.
Crazy, yeah.
All right, brother, thank you.
Thank you, man. Yeah. I appreciate it. You know, Carucci's one of the good guys out there. I like him. We've drunken. We're now sober. We have like the same weird men's cycle going on here.
Yeah, there you
where
go.
it's just like, you know, we didn't plan this. We just stopped like, you know, we're like, what are we doing in our lives? You know, he's 55, I'm 38, which makes me 55 in white people years. So,
There you
you
go.
know. So I'm glad you're doing all this stuff. He's
Thanks,
busting
man.
his ass and like he's hilarious. Watch out.
All right,
Yeah,
now we're
yeah.
headed to the city.